What is up, guys? Max with the Parlay Princes. We are here. A beautiful fight night. Better than most pay-per-views. We got Izzy and Imavov. People are dogging me for spelling Izzy with 2 S's and not 2 Z's. Ugh! It's the little things. We'll start it up, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, turn notifications on. I appreciate you. We're close to 1,500 subs. Let's get into it. I'm going to be reading off some notes here. This is my only prediction video. I'm not pick flipping. We got BOLAJ Oki and ABDUL AL-SELWADY. Oki is 9-2. Selwady is 15-4. One guy's been here for a little bit. One guy just got here. They are the same age. 2 inches of height and 4 inches of reach for Oki. So he has the advantage there. He's bigger. It's not a reach advantage unless you use it. I like what Chael Sonnen says when he says that. Oki has 5 KOs, 1 sub, 3 decisions. He's had good moments before the UFC, but against people that aren't very good. One guy's record was 9-18. That's what got him into the UFC. May God be with us. He's 1-1 in the UFC. He won a split decision with Kwamba and then a rough loss against Duncan. I did pick Duncan, just saying. I picked him for like stupid MMA math. He's just more vetty. Did I see a sub cubbing? No. That was a crazy finish too, because everybody had to let the ref know, hey, this guy's passed the fuck out. Damn it. I'm trying not to curse. His style, he's more of a KO artist, but he can still do his stuff on the ground, minus the Duncan. To get caught in a guillotine is pretty rough too. That's like the most basic thing to possibly get caught in. So it happens though. Unless you're fighting Dustin Poirier, that'll never happen. But he's definitely got it on the feet. Selwady, 8 KOs, 2 subs, 5 decision wins. He's 0-1 in the UFC. Lost to Radzhabov. If I'm saying that right, may God be with me. Where he got KO'd in the 3rd round. Not the best look. He does a lot of grappling matches where he wins, but is that enough here? I don't think so. Last time he got a KO was 2.5 years ago, and he's fighting a KO artist, so be careful. Oki's the pick because of his well-roundedness and power. Are you ready, class? And his IQ doesn't scare me. I say that because to get subbed by Duncan isn't the roughest look, but you do have to understand he got subbed by Duncan in round 1 with a guillotine. We do have to consider that. I think Oki wants to get back here too. You know, he's 1-1 in the UFC. Definitely the harder hitter. Skill for skill, I think he's better too. Odds are dead even. I think he might be the tiniest underdog. This is short notice too. I forgot to mention this is short notice. Jordan Levitt was supposed to be fighting, and that did not happen because his boyfriend Talbot lost. So I am going Oki. But again, I have PTSD because of Vegas 101 and 311. So as I say this, I'm like, it's in God's hands. Next fight. HAMDY ABDELWAHAB. HAMDY ABDELWAHAB. Definitely not saying that right. And JAMAL Pogues. At least I didn't say JAMAL Pogues or something like that, you know. HAMDY is 3-0. JAMAL is 11-4. HAMDY 3 years older, 32 and 5 inches reach shorter. I like to put those notes in there because that is something to consider. Again, it's not an advantage unless you use it. But 5 inches, no diddy. That's a big difference. So we got to consider that. Let's see what we got. He hasn't fought in almost 3 years because he got popped for them pills. This is HAMDY we're talking about. Technically the better fighter here, I will say that. But keep in mind, he hasn't fought, I believe it's like 2.5 years to be exact. And he got popped for that shit. Did a grappling match in August and got subbed in 2 minutes. So he had some time out of the UFC. He said, let me get a grappling match. He lost. He's an Olympic wrestler. But is that enough here? I don't know, because how do you get sub in 2 minutes if you're an Olympic wrestler? He's not scared to stand and bang, something to think about too, although he is a wrestler. He'll slug it out, not the most like stylistic. He's not a sharpshooter. He's more like the power guy, meaty left hooks, but he'll still bang it out if he has to. Pogues has 4 KOs, 1 sub, 6 decisions. He did Dana White Contender Series twice and went unanimous decision both times, and they finally let him in. We know that Dana hates that judge's scorecard decision when it comes to Contender Series. So after the second one, he said, you know what, you're in, why not? Let's see what else we got. This guy's a decision machine, and I would not trust him against someone like HAMDY. I hate decision machines, Marab. Last time he got a finish was 5 years ago. Jesus. He beats low-level competition like Parisian and Petersen, but we'll see how he does here. Hasn't fought in a year or so, which is also something to consider. These guys hate to fight. He's got good takedown defense, not the best striking, so I just see him struggling here a little bit. My pick is HAMDY. I picture him just applying pressure. He's got good fight IQ. Like, he's trying to finish the fight. So, as we're Pogues, I feel like is always just trying to survive. I don't know why these odds are dead even. It's minus 110, minus 110. HAMDY also has not a lot of MMA fights. Pro MMA fights, he's had 5. Yes, he's undefeated, but that doesn't mean much to me here. Sorry, is he 5-0? Because on Tapology, he's 3-0. On ESPN, he's 5-0. Which one is it? Which one is it? We're going to meet him in the middle and say he's 4-0. Yeah, he just has to, like, do what he does. Just wrestle, ground and pound. Like, if Pogue stuffs every takedown, it's over, guys. If Pogue stuffs every takedown, cash out your bets. Take the $10 for $12. Just cash that shit out. My pick is HAMDY, but again, he looked good when he was on steroids. PEDs, whatever you want to say. Next fight, Bogdan GRAD versus Lucas Alexander, 14-2 for GRAD, 8-4 for Alexander. GRAD's losing 3 inches of height and reach in this fight. Definitely something to consider. He's the smaller guy here. 8 KOs, 3 subs, 3 decisions. So he does like to get some finishes in there. He's definitely a dog. Like, his Dana White Contender Series fight did go the distance, but I believe it was bloody, if I'm not mistaken. That was like a bloody massacre. I could be wrong on that one, but I definitely remember him like swinging it out, banging it out. If he gets clipped, he doesn't care. The chin will crack eventually. Definitely something to think about, but he did Dana White Contender Series one other time and lost to Tom Nolan in the first minute and a half. That's rough. As we've seen, Tom Nolan is not a stud recently. He had 2 finishes in this organization called Cage Fight and then got another chance in the UFC, and here we are. Went split decision with Aswell, and that was a war as well. Like I said, he's a heavy hitter that has no problem getting hit, and he fights for your money. I love betting on people that fight for your money. He's well-rounded, but seems to save the grappling in his back pocket. Loves the slugfests. We'll talk about Lucas a little bit. Lucas, 3 KOs, 5 decisions. Lost to Brito in his first UFC fight, but that's not horrible. Brito's pretty demon, even though he lost the last one. That was a robbery, though, actually. So yeah, it's not bad that you lose to Brito. It's bad when you lose 2 minutes in a round 1. Any like under 0.5, we got to talk about it. We'll talk about McKinney in a little bit. Beat Steven Peterson, unanimous decision. That's whatever. Then gets KO'd by Jekka 1 minute and 30 into round 1. That's bad. What's worse, KO'd by Jekka or KO'd by Nolan? I don't know. I actually don't really know the answer to that. They're both just... If the same guy got KO'd by both people, get him out of here. He did get clipped, though. We will say that. Like, he was kind of winning the fight. It was a minute and a half in. He did kind of get clipped out of nowhere, so it is what it is. Let's see. Something else to consider is that fight was a year and a half ago, and I believe it's the last time he fought, if I'm not mistaken. I can tell you that right now. That's not worth telling you. Guess. My pick is Grad here. He's way more demon and can even latch up a sub if he has to. Like I said, how many subs does this Mo Freaka have? This guy's got 3 subs. I'm okay with that. As where Lucas Alexander has 0. Yeah, my next note is Lucas has nothing on the ground for him. I do expect a finish based off what I saw in the Dana White Contender Series. I don't think Lucas can take much more of that. And I think after this, he might unfortunately get cut. So I am going with Bogdan Grad by finish. Jasmine, JASUDAVICIUS, Maria? I just know her as Bueno Silva, guys. We'll just call her Bueno Silva. 12-3 for Jasmine, 10-4-1 for Silva. I don't know where I've been, but I forgot that the fight against Holmes became a no contest because she got popped for something. She ain't popping Xanax, boys. First thing to mention here is Silva's dropping down to 125. I think she belongs there. If JASUDAVICIUS, who's taller, lengthier, can be 125, why can't Bueno Silva? 2 years younger at 33, but it's a little shorter in height and reach, like I just said. That's Bueno Silva we're talking about. She's had 1 KO, 7 subs, 2 decisions. Her only good wins to me are against Holmes and Jillian Robertson. Granted, Jillian Robertson didn't look the hottest her last fight, and this was Jillian Robertson, I believe, like 4 or 5 years ago, so that is something to consider too. She lost to Pennington, lost to Macy Chiasson by doctor stoppage. That cut was nasty. If I'm fighting, which I don't, but if I do, if I get cut, I'm okay. If I have to look at the other person's cut, I'm not okay. So that thing was filthy. She's like, why are you stopping this? We're like, bro, your forehead's about to fall off. She will fight for your money, but that's not enough for me to pick her here. I love JASUDAVICIUS. I stay betting on JASUDAVICIUS. I'm going to keep doing that. It's like Pereira KO, Steve Garcia KO, Natalia Silva. Just keep pressing that button until further notice. Carlos Prates. Jasmine, we'll talk about her now. She loves decisions. And I think we'll see another one here. She's got 2 KOs, 3 subs, 7 decisions. Lost to Reed somehow. I don't think Reed is very good, but it happens. Lost to my girl Natalia Silva we just spoke about. Beat Miranda Maverick, which I also usually always bet on. Even the Klein win, I know it was supposed to be like a easy win. This girl's short notice, no UFC fights. We saw recently Klein's a demon. Klein looked demonic her last fight. Shout out Klein. So that win aged tremendously. 1 unanimous decision too. Subbed up Lipsky, which is impressive to me. And she's getting up there in age. But I do have to go with Jasmine. I think she's 35, like I said. 35's getting close, boys. I'm 33. I might have to retire at 35. Let's run this channel up. I think she'll look big in here. And I don't think Bueno Silva's going to have anything for her on the ground. I think it'll be a little bit of standing, a little bit of on the ground. The girls are going to get up, standing on the ground. I think it's going to be like rinse and repeat of that until we see a decision here. I have to go Jasmine, guys. She's got the ponytail. She's looking a little freaky deaky, if you know what I'm saying. And this is her weight class. This is Jasmine's weight class. Get out of here, Bueno. No bueno. I'm going no bueno. Silva. That means I'm going against Silva. I'm picking Jasmine. Next fight, Faris ZIAM versus Mike Davis. This is a good fight. Stylistically, this is a good one. It's actually very hard to pick. I'll tell you right now. I was going ZIAM. I'm going to Mike Davis. I'm going to the dark side. No pun intended. 16-4 for ZIAM. 11-2 for Davis. ZIAM is 5 years younger at 27. Definitely something to think about. As well as he has 3 inches of height on Davis. Also something to think about. Does that matter to Davis? I don't think so. 5 KOs, 5 subs, 6 decisions for ZIAM. 2-6 in the UFC. That's not true. He's 6-2. He's growing into himself, and he's still young, which I like. You know, again, 27, there's room to work. Even if you get 2 losses, even if you get 2 back-to-back losses, you got time till 35, 37. So I'm okay with that. Like I said, growing into himself, he's come a long way from getting subbed by McKinney 2 minutes into round 1 3 years ago. So people forget, man. ZIAM got subbed by McKinney in round 1, 2 minutes in. Granted, it was 3 years ago. He beat Jaya Herbert, beat Claudio Puelles, which shows that he has good takedown defense. Because Puelles has nothing on the hands at all whatsoever. Nothing with the hands, sorry. And then we saw the nasty KO round 3 against Frivola. Oh my God. I was definitely picking Frivola that fight. There's a funny little video of Frivola's coach going, "Turn around!" And then as he turns around, goes right to sleep because that knee. And the ground and pound was crazy, bro. Every single punch landed with the ground and pound. So he's definitely, when he's got his target, he's locked in. Davis, 7 KOs, 2 subs, 2 decisions. His first fight was against Gilbert Burns 5 years ago. What a way to start your UFC career. Fight Gilbert Burns. Demon. Guys had 5 UFC fights and 6 canceled ones. That's a fun little stat. 5 UFC fights, 6 canceled fights. So he's got more canceled than he has fights. He beat Borchev decision, which is a good look because Borchev is nasty with the hands, unless you're fighting Chase Hooper. And he subbed up Levy, which is a good look as well. Levy ain't the worst. He hasn't fought in about a year, which does concern me because ZIAM is very active and young. I think Davis has a good fight IQ too, which is interesting to me. And I gotta go Davis. He plays it safe, avoids the striking, and he can win this by decision. It's one of those fights where the more finishing ability to me is on ZIAM, but I don't think Davis is a Frivola. I really don't. Davis is my pick, and I could pick flip on this one a little bit later in the week. But my early pick right now, I am going Davis. I'm one of the few YouTubers doing it. Let's ride the train. Davis points. That's what I'm going with, guys. My guy Terrence McKinney and DAMIR HADZOVIC. 15-7 for Kinney, 14-7 for DAMIR. McKinney is 8 years younger at age 30. So my guy DAMIR is 38. Way past the age that I think you're going to win a fight. Almost 4 inches of reach from McKinney too. Definitely something to think about. McKinney's a sharp shooter in this fight. 4 inches is going to do a lot for him. 7 KOs, 8 subs, 0 decisions. The safest bet for me is no distance. McKinney hasn't left. I think he got KO'd by Dober 3 minutes and 15 seconds in round 1. He's never gone past that. Never. He's usually under 0.5. So I might even bet just round 1 finish for anybody. I don't care who goes to sleep. It's got to be someone. That McKinney stat is crazy, though. He's never left 3 minutes past. Actually, that might be false because I think he got KO'd in round 2. Didn't he get KO'd in round 2 by Bonfim? Wow, I'm sorry, guys. That stat is an entire lie. He got KO'd by Bonfim in round 2. Also got subbed by Sadiakov. So I made that entire thing up. But I believe other than that, let me check as I'm talking, everything is round 1. All right, yeah, I was super wrong. Fade that entire thing I just said. He's gotten finishes in round 3. He's gotten finishes in round 2. He got finished in round 2 by Woodson. That stat did sound cool for a second, didn't it? It sounded good. Let's keep it going here, though. We talked about the Bonfim loss. That was aggressive because he went to sleep so horrendously in that one. And that was around the time we all were like, shit, maybe McKinney's chin is gone here. I remember us all being like, ooh, what's next for McKinney? And the guys he destroyed aren't very good. He's gotten a couple like 25-second finishes recently. They're not the best competition though. People stepped up on short notice. It was their first UFC fight. Even I think it was, I don't know if it was Matt Frivola's first UFC fight. It was McKinney's first UFC fight when he destroyed Matt Frivola in 7 seconds. And he's smart with it too. He said as soon as this guy's going to throw a kick, a leg kick, I'm going to punch him in the face. And that's what happened. Waited for that kick to happen. Bink. As soon as he saw it, straight right, I believe. And then we got to talk about the Ribovics loss. 35 seconds in. He looks great those first 35 seconds. Damn, bro. But Ribovics is nasty. We saw what Ribovics did to Zellhuber. He hit him with a Leon Edwards. Boom, boom, kick to the head. So McKinney's good, but he's kind of scaring me recently, but I'm still going to bet on him. I'm not going to lie to you guys. DAMIR has 7 KOs, 3 subs, 4 decisions. Started getting good competition in the UFC in 2020, where he got subbed by Moicano in 45 seconds. I believe that was his, like, never mind, that wasn't his first UFC fight, but that was when he started fighting demons. He was supposed to fight Steve Garcia and Oki, but they got canceled. His last finish was 5 years ago. Definitely something to think about, too, but you are fighting McKinney, whose, like, chin is... But with McKinney, you better be ready for the firefight. I will say that. He does have a good chin and never really gets KO'd. I got to go McKinney round 1 just because of his demonness. He's also better on the ground, too. Like, he's technically the more well-rounded fighter. We're all just scared of McKinney's chin and cardio. Because part of him getting chin in the Bonfim fight was his cardio. He was super gassed in round 2 against the cage. And Bonfim hit him. Wasn't a flying knee. God damn it, Bonfim. But yeah, McKinney doesn't have to just rely on his hands. He's been training grappling too. I think he did a grappling match. Didn't he do a grappling match recently, this sick boy? I'm pretty sure he just did a grappling match. I'm not going to look it up so I can save time, but look into that, boys. Next fight, Shamil the Blob Gaziev versus Thomas Peterson. Comment below, guys. Who started the Blob thing? Was it Lucas Tracy, or is that just like a known thing as the Blob is Shamil? 13-1, 9-2 for Peterson. Shamil's 5 years older at 34, 3 inches of height, 5 inches of reach. You gotta like that for the Blob. 8 KOs, 3 subs, 2 decisions. He went through Dana White Contender Series and got a sub in 2023. He beat Budai, beat Dontel Mays, as you should. Thank you, the Blob. He really struggled against Rosenstrike, though. And that was rough, because that was only a few fights into his career. To give him Rosenstrike, like, I don't know why we all didn't see that coming. Didn't the Blob almost KO himself against the fence? Didn't he, like, miss a takedown or miss a punch and, like, smash his face into the fence? I kind of remember that during that fight. But I can't even say it's like a rough loss because it's Rosenstrike. Like, that's the UFC just rushing him too fast, you know? My next note, he's well-rounded, but kind of just a fat shit. His striking is sus because he overswings, leaving himself open to counters. Definitely something to think about that too, but you are fighting Peterson, so I don't really care about that. He needs to just play his game here, use his size, his weight to drain Peterson. Either look for the finish or just go unanimous decision, which I can see both. The Blob at minus 380. I don't know, guys. I got PTSD. I'm like scared to bet on minus 380s anymore. Anything over a minus 150, I'm scared to bet on you now. Talbot. Let's talk about Peterson. He has 7 KOs, 1 sub, 1 decision. He was going crazy in LFA until Waldo Cortez shut him up and hit him with the KO real quick. Losing to Pogues and beating Usman is very confusing to me. I did pick Muhammad Usman in that fight, and he looked horrible. But people were saying he might have had an injury too, so something to think about. Usman definitely baited that night. It was just one of those nights where your pick does not show up and the other guy slightly shows up and just looks like a full-blown competitor, but he's not. it really should be the Blob's fight all night. I can't even say, it's like, it's hard with these heavyweights because they're just like fat. Like, I can smell the Blob through the TV screen. Like, he just looks like a ogre, which is kind of why I'm betting on him. He should get a finish. He should, but I don't know if he does, bro. It's one of those things, like, fight IQ, I don't like the Blob. I don't like Petersen either at all. I might stay away from this one, but I am going with the Blob money line. Next fight, Muhammad Naimov and KAAN OFLI. Who knows? Who cares? Because he's probably going to lose. 11-3 for Muhammad. 11-3-1 for OFLI. Naimov has 2 inches of height and 4 inches of reach, so I like that a lot here. 5 KOs, 3 subs, 3 decisions. Never been knocked out. Gotta love that as well. He beats who he should in the UFC. Malarkey, Nathaniel Wood, Eric Silva. Lost to Lima, but that's okay with me. Lima's been proven as like a Brazilian demon. Has his wins, has his losses, but he's not like a... He's not Malarkey. And I do like Malarkey. He's a heavy hitter that isn't afraid if it goes to the ground, which is why OFLI is a great matchup for him. OFLI is from the tough season, so fade him. OFLI got hit with a vicious highlight reel KO, bro. I believe I was betting on him that night, but it was mainly because people were saying to. I think it was round 2, if I'm not mistaken. What was his name? Santos. And this happened in August, bro. This happened recently. He got like flatlined badly. I might watch that KO after this episode when I'm recording, because he's got 2 KOs, 5 subs, 4 decisions. And after that KO, I doubt he wants to stand and bang, because that kind of proved to him that he can get his lights shut out by someone who shouldn't shut his lights out. Not to take away from Santos's performance, but damn. I think Naimov will survive everything and just do more damage, making him win by a finish or decision. And what are the odds here? Minus 245. I'm okay with that. Don't put don't put Naimov on every single ticket. Don't do that. But I do like Naimov here. He's just a better fighter. Never been finished versus a guy who got absolutely starched from the tough house. And we've seen the guys from tough seasons really aren't the best. It's kind of like road to UFC in that sense. So I am going Naimov money line. Next, we got IKRAM, ALISKEROV, and Andre MUNIZ. This is an interesting one. We got like a super vet versus a guy that's looked good against nobodies. 15-2 for ALISKEROV, 24-6 for MUNIZ. This fight was actually scheduled for June, and it got canceled. Why they waited over 6 months to rebook it, I don't know, but we're here. I guess it's a good time because it's like IKRAM's hometown, right? Right off the bat, we have to mention that MUNIZ has way more experience, like I just said. And these guys are similar in age. IKRAM is 32, MUNIZ is 34. 7 significant strikes landed per minute, which is very high for IKRAM, but that's because he gets like round 1 finishes, so keep that in mind. And MUNIZ has 2 significant strikes per minute. KO'd Hawes. This is IKRAM we're talking about. KO'd Hawes. KO'd Alves in 2 minutes in the first round. Lost to Whitaker. Thank God I picked Whitaker. I think it was like minus 150 for Whitaker. Like, bro, that was just literally free money. And Whitaker starched him in round 1, like a minute and a half in, 2 minutes in. So the MMA gods corrected themselves. You know, he's been getting 2-minute finishes in round 1. MMA gods are like, not today, sir. Thank God. Imagine Whitaker lost that. Jesus. He's got 6 KOs, 5 subs, and 3 decisions. Very well-rounded, and I think he gets the job here for that reason. He's just... I don't even love IKRAM that much. I just kind of feel like fading MUNIZ. I don't know if some of you guys feel that way as well. Comment below. He's more of a finisher too. We'll say that. And if he loses, it's by KO. So I don't see Muniz doing that to him. Also, but can he do it is the question. Muniz has 4 KOs, 15 subs, 5 decisions. So if you're a submission demon fighting IKRAM, I'm okay with that, as long as you're not going to starch him like Whitaker. And Muniz has been KO'd 5 times. 83% of his losses come by KO. Something to think about. Even got KO'd by Paul Craig, which is like impossible. It was ground and pound, but still, it's like, bruh. He got subbed up by Allen as well. He did beat Uriah Hall, but that was almost 3 years ago when Uriah Hall was exiting his career. He went split decision with Park, which is scary. Stock reports got to tell me IKRAM here. It's just the odds are insane. What are the odds? Minus 650 for IKRAM. I can't do it. I'm never doing that again to myself. I'll do one parlay with IKRAM KO. Maybe KO sub if I want to be super safe. But God has taught me. I've learned my lesson finally, boys. No more Kevin Holland. No more minus 500s or above. Next fight. So just be clear, I am going IKRAM. I believe finish. He's got to bounce back big. Said Nurmagomedov, Vinicius Oliveira. 18-3 for Said, 21-3 for Vinicius Oliveira. Both guys in their prime with similar body types. I say that just in the sense of their reach, height, dick size. Just kidding, all that shit. Stuff. I'm not trying to curse here. Styles are way different though. Similar bodies, different styles here. Vinicius is very loose on the feet. It's good and bad. Like, he's sometimes too relaxed. But the way he did Ricky Simone was like demon. Like, super relaxed, just like on the outside, attacking when he should. So I definitely like that for Oliveira. 4 KOs, 6 subs, 8 decisions. Issue is all his losses are by decision. This is Said Nurmagomedov we're talking about. Lost to Barcelos, which makes sense after what we just witnessed with Talbot. After this weekend, a Barcelos loss is okay. Talbot flipped the switch for us. Good win over Stamen, Cody Stamen. I actually like Cody Stamen. Lost to Martinez, which I kind of like for Oliveira. Losing to Martinez, like, mainly because them leg kicks. I kind of like that for Oliveira in a sense. He subbed Gafrov in 1 minute. Renya, Nakamura, where are you? Will the real Renya please stand up? But also hasn't fought in 1.5 years. Very scary, especially when Oliveira's been on this demon time run. Oliveira, 16 KOs, 2 subs, 3 decisions. His last name is Oliveira, bro. If he just dyed his hair blonde, he's like a lock. But he hasn't gotten the blonde hair dye yet. 100% of his losses are by decision. So never gets finished. With that being said, I kind of like fight to go the distance in that sense. If he, 100% of his losses are decision, and then we said for Said, all his losses are by decision as well. I like it. Dana White Contender Series, he hit a crazy left hook in round 1. Crazy flying knee against Sopaj. The issue, as I'm thinking about that fight, if he didn't get that flying knee, does he win that fight? I get it. It's impressive. Love that flying knee KO. But if he doesn't get that, does he win that shit? But then he beat Ricky Simone. The issue with Ricky Simone, I think he's lost his last 4. So that's not even like super impressive here. So way better competition as far as Said. You know, he fought Jonathan Martinez, who I actually am very high on, even though he keeps losing me money. Damn, I said here I'm going Oliveira, but I kind of just talked myself out of it. I definitely like fight to go the distance. Damn, as of right this second, I'm going Vinicius Oliveira. But if I pick flip, I'm going to make a whole separate video for my pick flips. I'm only doing 1 prediction video from now on, guys. I'm not doing this 2 shit where I just keep pick flipping. So my pick is Oliveira, but I kind of don't like that as I'm talking about it. Oliveira by decision. Sergey Pavlovich and Jairzinho Rozenstruik. Banger of a fight. These guys, for their takedowns, for anything on the ground, is 0%. So I expect a crazy standing battle, which means, I don't know what. 18-3 for Sergey, 15-5 for Rozenstruik. Sergey's 4 years younger at 32 and 6 inches of reach. Definitely something to think about here. Like I said, these guys are not shooting a single takedown. Everything is at 0%. Gotta love it. Please don't go the distance. Sergey has 15 KOs, 3 decisions. Lost to Aspinall. Lost to Volkov, which was a rough loss. They were like kind of friends, but not really. He was pissed after that loss too. He just got pieced up for 3 rounds. Didn't see that coming. He beat Blade, Tuivasa, and Lewis all in round 1, as he should. Been in the UFC since 2018. His first loss was to Overeem, which is unique. But he's become a demon ever since then. I just love his boxing. His boxing is super slick. When he's hitting pads, when he's just shadow boxing. This guy is all about the 1-2s. 3-4s, 5-6, okay? We're not shooting any takedowns. We're not getting in the clinch. Sometimes. But he's fighting from the waist up. The waist down, we ain't doing shit. Rozenstruik, 13 KOs, 2 decisions. He got absolutely starched by Francis. We can all remember that one. He lost to Gane and Blades to unanimous decision. KO'd by Volkov, sub by Almeida. He beat the Blob. Split decision with Tuivasa. He's a heavy hitter, but he's not the cleanest. So that's kind of my issue here. Going against Pavlovich, bro, I just think he's more technical with the hands, bro. I really do. I think it's tough here because Rozenstruik doesn't have to worry about takedowns, so that will help him out here. But if you're just going to stand and bang with Pavlovich, I got to go with Pavlovich. I got to go with the huge, giant Russian guy. I'm just basing this off like their styles, what I see. I'm trying not to do MMA math here at all. So really just styles, bro. The striking of Pavlovich is demon. I got to go with him. I'm going Pavlovich by finish. But these guys are both kind of doggy in a sense. So if it goes to decision, don't shoot me. Definitely put the distance going on any parlay. Because if that shit's going to be like plus 800, just do a little like Hail Mary parlay and just add it. That's why I did last Rozenstruik fight against Tuivasa. I had Rozenstruik points for plus 700. Demon. A good fight. Shara Bullet and MVP, and I did pig flip on this one as well. This is one we go back and forth with a lot on my live streams. We just can't come to an agreement here. 15-0 for Shara Bullet, 22-3 for MVP. 7 years younger for Shara Bullet, so definitely something to consider. I think he's 30 and MVP's 37. 6 inches shorter reach, though. That's rough when you're fighting MVP, I will say that. This is also a 3-rounder. This is not a 5-rounder, even though it's the co-main event. Shara Bullet, 12 KOs, 3 decisions. He fought Bruno Silva, went unanimous decision. KO Dracoli, who's horrible. He's about to get divorced by my girlfriend. Unanimous decision with Mikhail. And the Armin KO was nasty because I picked Armin in that fight. I was like, bro, there's levels to this. Armin's a dog. Let's get it. Not anymore. Nasty kickboxer. Very technical. Love his kickboxing. Love it. Will it work with MVP? I don't think so. And we also have to talk about this, guys. We have to. He has one eye. We have to mention this. We have to. He's got one eye. No one's talked about that. He's got one eye. MVP, 12 KOs, 4 subs, 6 decisions, 2 UFC fights. He destroyed Holland. And he lost to Gary, which was a close one, but not really. It was close. He did a grappling match in November, and he won. So he is working on his grappling. I think that was the one where I thought McKinney did grappling. I think it was actually MVP. And he just did it in November. So that proves he's working on his takedown game, his ground game, all that, as where I don't think Shara is doing that whatsoever. And we have to talk about how this guy did 6 rounds in bare knuckle with Mike Perry. No one has mentioned that too. So something to consider. He's very diverse in like his competition. Bare knuckle, grappling contests, UFC, Bellator. I like MVP for that, guys. And he was lighting people up in Bellator, but it wasn't the highest level competition. I just have to go MVP. It's kind of like what Kevin Holland said. Why am I listening to Kevin Holland? I don't know. But he's like, bro, training for MVP is almost impossible. I know that's like immediate cope from Holland. But he did mention too, he tried to hit up Wonder Boy to help him train for MVP. And Wonder Boy said no. So it's like, I think MVP can get training partners to mimic Shara. It's going to be very difficult to get people that mimic MVP in the training room. So for that reason, I am going MVP. I'm doing a little too much MMA math here for my liking, but I'm doing it, guys. I'm doing MVP, and he's plus 150 right now, so I got to like that. The main event, guys, 5-rounder, Israel Adesanya, Nasruddin Imavov. 12-4 for Izzy, 15-4 for Imavov. 6 years younger for Imavov at 29. Izzy's at that 35 range, which scares me a lot. But he's had a 5-reach disadvantage against Izzy. So also something to consider. Izzy, the sharpshooter, you got 5 inches less of reach. Rough one. Imavov, 6 KOs, 4 subs, 5 decisions. He did lose to Phil Hawes somehow back in 2021. How that happens, I do not even know. But since then, he's actually looked good. He beat Buckley, lost to Strickland, but that's kind of okay with me. Like, Strickland just dog walks people somehow. Looked good against Curtis, even though it was a no contest. He went 5 rounds with Dolidze. I believe that's his only 5-rounder. So at least we have some 5-round experience. But also something to consider right there, guys. Like, Izzy is a 5-round demon. I'm almost talking myself out of my pick again here. Imavov KO'd Cannonier, which looked good. He beat Allen in a 3-rounder. That was also beautiful. He's more well-rounded here. But it's like, does he come in with that game plan? It's like Rinyan Nakamura. Like, I'm betting on takedowns and he doesn't shoot any. So it's like Imavov. He's more well-rounded. He's better on the ground. Better at the pressure. But does he do that shit? Like, I'm tired of this. Just tell me ahead of time. Izzy, 16 KOs, 8 decisions. Only KO loss was to Pereira. Very interesting. He's 2-3 in his last 5, which is horrendous. Amazing kickboxer, but I'm scared he's at the end of his career. Like we said, 35 years old. A little sketchy. Losing to Sean in DDP like that was rough to me. He was beating DDP until he got subbed. But that's kind of where I see like a path for Imavov. It's like, not in the same sense, because DDP is a little weird with it. He's a little freaky deaky, kissing his coaches. No, I'm joking. But his like striking, as we know, is just like, the hell is this guy doing? But it works. And that's kind of the issue here with watching Sean and DDP beat Izzy. We kind of saw how to beat him. Pressure. Does horrible off the back foot. Same thing with the Gaslam fight. Just pressure this guy. Like, the way to not fight Izzy is like Paulo Costa, where you just stand there and get picked apart. I also kind of feel like Izzy has nothing left to prove. I kind of feel that as well. Like, Imavov still wants that chance. Izzy is kind of like, bro, I have the McLaren already. Like, Izzy's been making over $1 million checks for a while now. So, like, does that get to his head here? Like we said, the pressure. Izzy just can't let this guy walk him down and keep him against the cage and grab his legs, try and go for takedowns. He has to keep him at range and pick him apart, which he can with the 5 inches of reach, but does he do it? I don't know. Scary for Imavov if it gets into the later rounds. We've seen Izzy in later rounds. Imavov, we've only seen him once. Damn. I'm kind of going the dog again, guys. I know the Godfather told me house on Izzy. I don't know if I can do that. I think I'm going to Imavov, guys. Just more ways to win, in my opinion, as where Izzy can really just keep us a striking battle. If you just take the striking battle away from Izzy, you're good to go. So I hope Imavov knows that. God, I'm so cranky from Vegas 101 and 311. But that's it, guys. Comment down below. I want to know your picks. Let me know if I missed anything as well. I tried to cover a lot with the takedowns and how many KOs. And so hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, Max from the Parlay Princes. Like, subscribe, comment. I appreciate you guys for being here. God, let's make some money this week.